Chris Baker was diagnosed with traits of Asperger's syndrome at 7 years old, and ever since his family have been fighting to give him a good education. As he got older, school became more difficult and his parents decided to remove him from school. But during his parents' search for a place where he could learn, Chris began to pick up his pencils and draw portraits, a skill his parents never knew that he had.
Christopher falls in a very grey area. He's not special enough to warrant a special school because their needs are very, very extreme. But when you look at mainstream, he's a little bit too challenging for mainstream. In high school, with the change of teachers, the change of routines, nobody really got to know Chris. I think to have something for young people like him would be brilliant. He went through high school, he got through to about year 8, and children then start to realise that you're very different and they become quite cruel. So life became very difficult for Chris, so I removed him from school. My husband and I then looked for an alternative form of education for him so that he could continue. And it was during that time then that he picked up his pencils and brought out of his room some amazing drawings that we were just gobsmacked. We couldn't believe he had such a skill we knew nothing about.
Now Chris's parents are helping him start up his own business. With the help of a freelance printer, Chris has been able to frame and sell copies of his pictures, and even draws pictures that his customers have requested. And it all started when his mother Sam requested a picture of actor Will Smith and showed it to her colleagues.
Well, a photocopy of it went up on my desk in work because he wouldn't let me have the real one. And then he started to draw Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee and Michael Jackson have been two quite big influences to him. And I then started to show my colleagues in work who were quite gobsmacked, and again say, he could draw other people, he could make a living from this, which then starts to make you think that would work. A gentleman by the name of Dan Walters, he's just gone freelance now, so we're going literally to Dan's new premises to get things printed and deal with the scanning. And as time has gone on now, it's almost like Chris sees Dan as like a bit of a mentor, whereas if he deals with new people, it's hours if not days before he'll actually speak to them face to face. With Dan now, he laughs, there's even banter going on. It's lovely to see him act quite normally, for want of a better term.
Since he began drawing and interacting with Dan for the running of his business, Chris's parents have seen changes in his confidence. He has had a stall at Comic-Con in Cardiff, and Pen and Paper, the art shop in Cardiff where Chris buys his supplies, want to exhibit the young artist's work.
He has changed, yeah. Day one of Comic-Con, he was very reserved, and where we had a board up with his images on, he stayed behind it. One gentleman, he was going to buy an image, and he said, I'm not going to buy it, he said, until I shake his hand, because I'd explained about Christopher's background. So Chris came out and shook his hand, and he got more confident then as the day got on. I really don't think that Christopher understands or believes that people enjoy his work as much as they do. I don't think he has that self-confidence yet. It's growing, it really is.
And for his family, the improvements that they have seen, no matter how slight, mean he is embarking on a positive journey through his drawings.
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Because I know Chris is not the type of young man who will hold down a job sat at a desk. He's not a people person. That is his nature. So to have people recognise his work as an artist, as a self-employed person, is brilliant. This is exactly what any parent wants for their child, to bring them up to be respectful and to be independent. And Chris is on that road to being independent as much as physically possible.